Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Going with our theme of recipes that my mother makes. Today we're going to do her cornbread dressing. We have 2 loaves of cornbread that we made for the last video, and you need to watch that last video to know how to make that. And I'm going to show you how to put together her dressing. First step is prepping our vegetables. We're going to need a cup of white onion. I've already cut off both ends and peeled it. Everybody cuts up their onion different. I probably do it different than most, so I'm trying to get pretty small pieces. And what I do is cut across like this at first. I think I need to sharpen this knife a bit. And then rotate your onion and just cut down nice little pieces. So I'm going to finish prepping this and get a cup, and then we'll go on to the next step. Alright, I got my 1 cup onion diced up. Next step is celery, and we need 2 cups of celery. I've already washed these. I'm going to trim the ends. And we're just going to start cutting this up. And this is the same as onion. Everybody probably does it different. And it doesn't really matter. You want to get this pretty fine though. You don't want big chunks of celery. At least I don't. It needs to kind of disappear a little bit in the dressing, I think. And Mom's always did. So once I get this diced up, again 2 cups, we'll move on to the next step. Just want to make sure I showed this. This is how fine I mean. So pretty little small dice. So like I said, I'll be back when I get this done. Alright guys, I got my vegetables all diced up. So your next step is to, we want to sweat the celery and the onions. I got just under a teaspoon of bacon fat in a 10.5 inch cast iron skillet. So you want to get that hot. This is my mother's skillet I borrowed because I don't have any nice skillets like this. I don't know how old this one is, but it is very well seasoned. Very well seasoned. Rarely does it stick unless I'm using it. So you want to add your vegetables, and like I said, we're gonna sweat these down about medium heat. Should only probably take, I don't know, 5 to 8 minutes. And then once they're sweated down, we'll move on to the next step. Alright guys, the celery and the onions have all sweated down pretty good. You don't want to get much color on, you just want to sweat them down so the onions are translucent. I think they're about done. One thing I did forget to say is you need to put some salt and pepper at this point. And I just used the pepper out of the box. That's what Mom used. That's the flavor I'm trying to get. And I think the cracked pepper just has a different flavor. So I'm going to get these out of the pan, and we're going to move on to the next step. Alright guys, so I got my celery and my onions all sauteed down. Next step is to take your cornbread, and I've already started, and you just want to crumble it up. You want to get it into pretty small pieces. Not crazy, but you just want to get it all crumbled up real good. So pretty much like that consistency. So I'm going to finish crumbling this, and then we'll move on. Alright, so we got the cornbread all crumbled up. So your next step is to add your onions and your celery. And then we want to add some red sage and some poultry seasoning. Now, there's no amounts written on my mother's recipe. She said it's all by taste. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do it by taste. So we're just going to add it to taste. It's going to have 2 eggs. Don't put the eggs in until after you've tasted it and get it to where you want it. And I know it's going to be quite a bit, especially for this much. They don't have to be perfect. I like lots of poultry seasoning in it. So once you get that in, you want to take some chicken broth and start wetting it down. Probably going to take quite a bit of chicken broth to get this wetted down good enough. I hope I have enough. Yeah, I think it's going to be enough. So just add some, stir it in, let it get mixed up real good. This recipe makes quite a bit of dressing. It's 2 of those frying pans full. So it's enough to feed a bunch of people. Of course, Thanksgiving in my house, or my mom's house, there's over 30 of us most of the time, so we needed a lot of dressing. But you want to get it pretty moist. Well, you want it really moist. The moister it is here, the moister it's going to be when it's done. And I don't like dry dressing. I'm telling you, it's smelling good. I think we're going to have to add it all. Maybe I'll check it right there, because it's starting to get there. That's looking pretty good right there. There's a lot of moisture in there. So, we'll do a little taste test. See where we are on flavor. Might have to add some salt too. I think it's going to need a little bit of everything. So I'll continue mixing it up, tasting it until I get it to where I want it. And then we'll go to the pretty much last step. Alright, I got it pretty much where I want it flavor-wise. And pretty much where I want it on moisture level. So the last thing we're going to add is 2 eggs. Like I said, you want to add the eggs after you get it flavored. Mix that in. Get it mixed in real good. And next thing, I'm going to have to clean up this frying pan and we'll get her in the oven. Be right back. Alright guys, so going back to the same skillet we sauteed our vegetables in. I sprayed it with a little Pam just to make sure nothing's going to stick. And then we're going to make this right in this frying pan. We're going to bake it in there. So you want to... Now this should be 2 frying pans worth, so we're going to start with this. That looks about even. And maybe a little more. And then just flatten it out. And then we're going to bake it in a 350 oven. And once again, there was no time. I remember on Thanksgiving watching her, and she would just keep checking it until it wasn't, you know, stick a toothpick in it, wouldn't come out dirty. So that's what we're going to do. Alright guys, so this is the end result. It took about 40 minutes. Just wanted to get brown on top, and when you stick a toothpick in it, it comes out clean. So if you like this video, click like and subscribe. We'll have more videos coming up.